and welcome back to Ukes with Alex, a ukulele channel where we dive headfirst into ukulele and ukulele culture and just try and have some fun along the way. And I'll tell you what is fun, Guadalupe Ukulele Strings, which we have back at Southern Ukulele Store right now for the first time since 2009, 2010. I don't think the world was ready for them back then, and I've been as guilty as anyone for talking about the differences between fluorocarbon and nylon and nile gut and basically any kind of plastic you can think of. We've talked about it, and we've talked about the tonal benefits and deficits that might have on your ukulele. But Guadalupe strings are silk, a different material altogether. And back when we first did them, I didn't really understand, and I don't think any of us really understood quite what we had. The Guadalupe strings are made in East LA, US, by a team of artisan musicians, a really small close-knit team. Actually, Adam and I were talking at SUS about how much it reminds us of us at Southern Ukulele Store and how we're kind of striving to do the best we can. There's some great videos on their YouTube channel that talk about the manufacturing process. In fact, they don't talk about the manufacturing process. They show you the manufacturing process, but they don't really go into detail. So I'm going to give you the rundown of these strings today. I'm going to give you a couple of sound samples and just see what's what. The silk thing is interesting. The core of the strings, they don't do a fluorocarbon string like you might expect. Instead, it's a silk string, which is wound in nylon. So typically the core of a string would be nylon, but what Guadalupe do that's different is they take the silk core and then they wrap very fine pieces of nylon around it all the way up the length of the string. So all of the strings are wound, but they're not metal wound. Does that make sense? So if you have an entire set of these strings, the C, E and A, you've got this constant where they will always be a wound feeling string, but the actual string itself is a mixture of different materials, silk and nylon. And then with the wound strings, so when you're looking at their kind of obscure sets and their low Gs, what you have, your low Gs would have a silver wound copper, as they like to call it. And then they do some weird and wonderful things that they've done for a long time. In the baritone size is where these strings really shine. I think it's because they have links and connections to mariachi music and a lot of Hispanic music that uses interesting strings, a lot of silk strings. But they do a baritone set, which is a lower octave G, C, E, A. So if you imagine your tenor ukulele is G, C, E, A, your baritone is D, G, B, E, and then you're recreating that tuning a bit further down, so an octave lower G, C, E, A. They do those sets in high G and low G. We're going to have a quick listen now to a set of low G, octave G, C, E, A baritone strings by Guadalupe. Oh, you feel it in your soul. All right, they work really well. You got to be really in the mood to feel the music against you. They're not going to cut through against someone playing like a normal baritone. It's going to be twice as loud, but what you lose in volume you make up for 10 times in depth, and the tension is right, which is always the hardest thing to get right with these in my experience. But the tension is great. Stunning. Another cool quirk of Guadalupe is their rainbow strings. These are a traditional monofilament nylon that's dyed, so they're, you know, colourful, bright, friendly looking strings. It's a bit of a gimmick, I'll be honest with you. They're much cheaper than your average nylon string, but they do sound pretty good. If you've got a starter ukulele that you want to do up, or something that, you know, just needs a little bit of spice to it, then these multicoloured strings are really good. Well, hopefully that just about covers it. If you have any questions, you can let me know here. I'm going to put links in the description to the Southern Ukulele Store website, where they have me have the full range of these strings. I wanted to do this video on the Ukes of Alex channel to keep it in line with all the other string videos I've done over the years. But make no bones about it, I would love for you to buy them from Southern Ukulele Store. That's where I dwell, that's where I sit, and that's what I like to talk about. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please do leave a comment below, and I'll be back very, very soon.